Good afternoon, everyone. It's Dave with Alaskan Homesteading. Today I am going to be working on some lumber. I've got a big tree that fell in the yard about a week ago, and now I've got it cut to the length I want, and I'm going to go see if I can pull it out with the tractor. Let's get started. Well, here's the log, 20-something inches in diameter at the base. I cut it to 16 feet 8 inches. The maximum my mill can take is 16 foot 11, and I think this is going to be a pretty challenging log to wrestle around up there, so I didn't want to necessarily have it exactly, the full length. It's going to take a little jockeying with the tractor, I think, to manipulate it into position. At any rate, I've got the tractor over here ready to go. I've got some chain, got my forks on, and I've got the log. Let's see what we can do. All right, folks, that's the biggest log I've ever handled. Getting it on here with the tractor, as you saw, took a little bit of finagling. It's a lot of weight. You can really feel it. If you're not smooth on the stick, then the machine will get real jerky and bounce around, and you can unsettle it. And if you're not on flat ground, you can create some hazards for yourself. Now, I need to figure out exactly what kind of lumber I want to get out of this log. I'm going to take some measurements here, figure out some rough estimate of how many board feet I think I can get, and start figuring out what kind of timbers I want to cut. I know that for the chicken coop I want to build, I think, an 8x16 structure. This is about a 16-foot log, so I should be able to at least build the header, maybe two of the headers, you know, front and back for a lean-to style building. But we'll see. We'll see what I can get out of it. At any rate, let's take some measurements. So I've done my calculations for this log, and at the 16.5-foot length at about 16.5-inch diameter, I've figured that this is going to be about 25 cubic feet of wood. Now that doesn't take into account the taper and irregularities and stuff. It's you know, obviously that end is about 18 inches, and this smaller end is right around 15 inches in diameter. So that it's a rough calculation. I also did some board feet calculations using a couple of different formulas. I have a Google spreadsheet on my phone that I use to do these calculations. It has the Doyle and Scribner formulas built into the spreadsheet. I'll put a link to those in the description below. Those are formulas that I guess loggers have used for a long time to estimate board feet per per the diameter and the length of a given log, and I'm going to see what I get out of it. I have to do some scribing on the ends to figure out where I want to make my cuts and start planning what kind of timber I want to get out of this. The other challenge I have is that because this was a beetle-killed log, I don't know what's going to be under this bark when I start pulling away. I started picking away a little bit of it, and I already see a pretty good crack running down lengthwise in this log. So it's entirely possible that there could be a lot more loss in this log than I'm anticipating. So because of that, I'm going to have to go ahead and, I think, debark this whole thing so that I can see where those cracks are and plan my cuts around them, if at all possible. Took the bark off, and I only found that one crack. The rest of it looks pretty sound. And bad news is that crack goes in a good 5 or 6 inches there. So that's going to have to be something that I account for when I'm planning my cuts. And the other piece of bad news about that is that, true to form, this crack isn't straight along the length of the log. It twists, because these trees do tend to have a twist to them as they grow. So you can see this crack that goes in about 6 inches or so, winds its way around the log. So that is going to put some limits on the quantity and quality of lumber that I can pull out of this log. There's also this interesting imperfection, and I don't know what that is, but it does appear to be, you know, something that extends across the grain of the log, and I just don't know. I don't know if that's going to be something that is compromised all the way through the log, or if that's just something that's down here in the base where it had been attacked by the insects and was rotting a bit. I just don't know. Okay, well, that's where I'm going to wrap up for today. I am a little tired. I want to think things through, and I don't want to rush cutting this log. My level of inexperience here might cause me to waste some of the lumber that I could get out of this timber, and I don't want to do that. This is the largest log that I've milled yet, and I think it deserves a little bit of extra time and attention. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and give me a big thumbs up if you're enjoying this content. Subscribe if you want to see more of it, and we'll see you in the next video.